Have you ever sat down at the table, looked at your plate, and thought, is this really helping me feel better or just filling me up? As we get older, our relationship with food changes. It's no longer just about taste or tradition. It's about how what we eat can help us stay strong, sharp, and full of life. If you ever wonder what to eat to feel younger, live longer, and enjoy more years with the people you love, you're in the right place. The truth is, reaching 100 isn't just luck or good genes. Sure, they play a part, but research has shown time and time again that what we eat plays a massive role. In fact, when scientists looked at the world's longest living people, from places like Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, and Nicoya, Costa Rica, they found something amazing. These folks didn't follow trendy diets or count calories. They simply had a few consistent habits that helped their bodies stay resilient and their minds stay clear well into their 90s and beyond. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 of those habits. Simple changes you can start making right now, one meal at a time. These aren't fads or quick fixes. They're time-tested, practical ways to nourish your body so you can keep doing the things you love. Whether that's gardening, dancing, playing with the grandkids, or just waking up each morning feeling good. Let's begin with one of the most powerful and often overlooked habits, eating more plants. I know, that might sound obvious, but hear me out. We're not talking about giving up meat or becoming a vegetarian overnight. We're talking about adding more color, more variety, and more life to your plate. Because plants, like leafy greens, beans, sweet potatoes, berries, and nuts, are packed with nutrients that fight inflammation, support your immune system, and even protect your brain. I met a gentleman named Joe at a local senior center who started adding just one handful of spinach to his morning eggs. That tiny change led to him experimenting with other veggies, adding lentils to soup, snacking on carrots and hummus instead of chips. Within a few months, he said he felt more energized, and his doctor even noticed improvements in his cholesterol. Joe didn't go on a strict diet. He just started choosing foods that helped him feel good. And that's the key. Don't think of it as restriction. Think of it as nourishment, another powerful habit that shows up in all the longest living cultures. Eating until you're satisfied, but not stuffed. This one can be tricky, especially when we spent decades being told to clean your plate. But here's what people in Okinawa do. They eat until they're about 80% full, then they stop. It's a small shift in mindset, but it makes a big difference over time. By listening to your body's cues and slowing down during meals, you give your brain a chance to catch up with your stomach. That way, you avoid that uncomfortable, heavy feeling after meals, and you end up eating just what your body needs. No more, no less. Try this at your next meal. Before you even take your first bite, pause and take a breath. Smell the food. Look at it. Then take your time chewing. Put your fork down between bites. You'll be surprised how quickly your body will tell you, that's enough. And when you stop right there, you feel lighter, not just physically, but mentally too. You stay more in control of your energy throughout the day. Speaking of energy, let's talk about one more habit that's often misunderstood. Cutting back on processed foods. Now, don't worry. I'm not saying you can never enjoy a slice of cake or a bit of bacon again. Life is meant to be enjoyed. But it's worth noticing how often processed snacks, frozen meals, or sugary drinks sneak their way into your day. These foods are convenient, sure, but they're also packed with additives, preservatives, and hidden sugars that weigh your body down over time. A friend of mine, Carol, used to grab a diet soda and a packaged granola bar every afternoon. She thought she was making a healthy choice. But when she started replacing that snack with a handful of almonds and a piece of fruit, she told me she felt more alert, less bloated, and even started sleeping better. It wasn't a huge overhaul, just a little switch that paid off in a big way. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. Every bite sends a message to your body, either to heal or to harm. And the beautiful thing is, you get to choose that message every time you sit down to eat. You're not too old to make a change. In fact, your body is still listening, still responding, still ready to thrive. Now that we've talked about bringing more plants into your meals, listening to your body's fullness cues, and reducing the processed stuff that drags you down, let's keep going. There are more gentle, powerful habits waiting for you, ones that will help your body feel younger, stronger, and more alive with every meal. One of the most inspiring things I've noticed when talking with people who live well into their 90s and even 100s is how simple their routines are. No trendy superfoods, no complicated regimens, just mindful choices that fit into daily life. And one of those choices is something we often overlook: eating together. Now, you might be thinking, what does that have to do with my health? But it turns out a lot. People in the world's longest living regions often share their meals with family or friends. They gather around a table, talk, laugh, and take their time. And here's the secret. Eating together doesn't just nourish the body, it nourishes the heart. Think about the last time you had a meal with someone you truly enjoy spending time with. Maybe it was your partner, a neighbor, or a grandchild. The food somehow tasted better, didn't it? You probably ate more slowly, savored every bite, and felt more satisfied afterward. That's not a coincidence. Social connection lowers stress levels, supports digestion, and even helps your brain stay sharp. So, whether it's inviting someone over for lunch, joining a local potluck, or calling a friend to eat together over video, making meals a shared experience can add more life to your years and more years to your life. Another habit that goes hand in hand with this one is giving your body time to rest between meals. Many people who live long, healthy lives naturally follow a pattern of gentle, daily fasting. That doesn't mean skipping meals or starving yourself. It simply means spacing your meals out and allowing your body a break from constant digestion. For some, this might look like eating dinner a bit earlier in the evening, say around 6, and then not eating again until breakfast the next day. Why does this matter? Because when we constantly snack or eat late into the night, our bodies don't get the chance to fully repair and reset. But when we allow even a modest window of rest, we support our metabolism, balance blood sugar, and reduce inflammation. It's like giving your internal engine a break. It runs better when it's not constantly being pushed. I spoke with a woman named Maria who started doing just this, not as a strict rule, but as a kind gesture to herself. She stopped late-night snacking and gave herself a 12-hour window between dinner and breakfast. She told me she started waking up feeling lighter, less groggy, and more ready to move. It wasn't a punishment. It was self-care. Now, speaking of nourishment, let's talk about one of the most comforting and powerful additions to your plate: beans. Yes, humble, everyday beans. Black beans, lentils, chickpeas, kidney beans. They're not glamorous, but they're found in nearly every longevity hotspot on the planet. And it's no wonder. They're rich in fiber, plant-based protein, and nutrients that support heart health, digestion, and even your gut microbiome. What's beautiful about beans is how versatile they are. You can toss them into a salad, stir them into a warm stew, or mash them into a spread. They fill you up, keep your energy steady, and help regulate your blood sugar. One man in his 80s I met at a community garden swore by his 3-bean chili. He'd make a big pot once a week, freeze a few portions, and enjoy it with a slice of whole grain bread. He didn't think of it as a diet, just something he liked. That happened to be good for him. And that's really the heart of this way of eating. It's not about restriction or fear. It's about adding in the good, choosing foods that love you back. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just one thoughtful choice at a time, eating with others, resting between meals, adding a scoop of beans to your plate can lead to real, lasting change. Because the goal here isn't just to live longer, it's to live better, to have the strength to walk around the block, the energy to laugh through an afternoon with friends, the clarity to remember stories from decades ago, and the peace to enjoy the present moment. Every meal is a new opportunity, a chance to nourish not only your body, but your spirit. To choose foods that are colorful, full of life, and full of possibility. The kind of foods that whisper to yourselves, keep going, you've got more living to do. And that's the beauty of the longevity diet. It's not about eating less. It's about eating right. Eating in a way that supports your journey, wherever you are on it. Let's keep going, because there are still a few more gentle, powerful habits that can make all the difference in how you feel, how you age, and how brightly your days can shine. If you've ever stood in your kitchen wondering what to eat and felt overwhelmed by all the choices, you're not alone. There's so much advice out there, and it can get confusing. But here's something simple and powerful that's been practiced by long-living cultures for generations: eating mostly plants. Now, I'm not saying you have to become a vegetarian or give up the food you love. Not at all. But shifting the balance so your meals are centered around vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. That's where the magic happens. Think of meat not as a star of the show, but more like a special guest. Still welcome, still enjoyed, but not at the center of every plate. In Okinawa, Japan, where some of the healthiest elders live, they often fill most of their bowls with colorful vegetables, sweet potatoes, and tofu, while meat shows up only on occasion. It's more of a flavoring than a foundation. And the results speak for themselves: lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. More energy, sharper minds, longer lives. When you fill your plate with vibrant plant-based foods, you're giving your body what it truly craves: antioxidants, fiber, vitamins, and healthy fats that keep everything, from your brain to your bones, running smoothly. You're also supporting your gut, which is where a huge part of your immune system lives. A healthy gut is a happy body. One man I know in his 70s told me he used to be a meat and potatoes kind of guy every single night, but he started adding a big salad before dinner. Then he switched out white rice for brown. Then he learned to roast vegetables with just a little olive oil and garlic. And suddenly, dinner was something he looked forward to, not something he felt guilty about. He told me, "I didn't lose anything. I gained flavor and energy." And isn't that what we all want at this stage in life? More energy to do the things we love. More flavor in our days. More confidence that we're doing something good for ourselves. Now, while we're talking about adding the good in, let's not forget one of the most overlooked habits of all: staying hydrated. It's not flashy, but drinking enough water is one of the simplest, most effective things you can do to feel better, especially as you get older. As we age, our sense of thirst naturally decreases. That means it's easy to become slightly dehydrated without even realizing it. And when that happens, everything slows down: your digestion, your focus, even your mood. You might feel a little tired, a little achy, a little off, and not know why. Often, it's something as simple as not drinking enough fluids. So, here's a gentle reminder: sip throughout the day. Keep a glass of water near your favorite chair, next to your bed, or on the kitchen counter. Herbal teas, warm lemon water in the morning, or even water-rich foods like cucumbers, oranges, and watermelon can all help. You don't need to chug liters. Just stay consistent. Your joints, your skin, and even your brain will thank you. I had a woman once tell me that after making this one change, just drinking a full glass of water with every meal and one between meals, she started sleeping better, had fewer headaches, and even felt less stiff in mornings. That's how powerful this tiny shift can be. And now, let's talk about a habit that isn't really about food at all, but affects every bite you take: slowing down. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to rush through meals, to eat in front of the TV, to stand at the counter, to barely taste what's on our fork. But when we slow down and actually enjoy our food, something special happens. You feel full sooner. You appreciate the flavors more. You connect to the experience instead of just checking a box. And most importantly, you give your body time to digest and absorb what it needs. In many long-living cultures, meals are slow, peaceful moments. People chew slowly, eat mindfully, and listen to their body's cues. There's no need to clean your plate out of habit. It's okay to stop when you're full, even if there's still food left. It's okay to sit quietly with your meal and breathe between bites. Food becomes more than just fuel. It becomes a ritual of care. A man in his 80s once shared a saying with me that stuck: "Eat like you have time to live forever." And maybe there's some wisdom in that. Maybe the way we eat reflects the way we live. Are we rushing through distracted and stressed? Or are we slowing down, savoring, and showing ourselves kindness? So, whether it's adding more plants, drinking a little more water, or taking a deep breath before your next meal, these are not just habits. They're small acts of love for your body, for your future, for your life. Because the truth is, you don't have to overhaul everything to feel better. You just have to begin. Begin with one step, one meal, one mindful moment. And trust that these little changes, done consistently, will lead to something powerful. More energy, more clarity, more years to enjoy the things and people you love. By now, you might be thinking, this all sounds simple enough, but does it really make that big of a difference? And the answer from the stories, the science, and the lives of so many vibrant people over 80, 90, even 100 is yes. Not just a little difference. A life-changing one. One last habit that often gets overlooked, yet quietly supports everything else, is sharing meals with others. Food isn't just about nutrients. It's about connection. Sitting down with someone you care about, whether it's a spouse, a neighbor, your children, or even a new friend, turns eating into an experience of joy and belonging. And believe it or not, that sense of connection has been shown to improve digestion, reduce stress, and even strengthen your immune system. In the blue zones, places like Sardinia, Italy, and Korea, Greece, where people often live past 100, it's not just what they eat, but how they eat. Meals are slow, social, and full of laughter. A simple lentil soup or tomato salad becomes nourishing not only because it's healthy, but because it's shared. These communities show us that good food is even better when it brings people together. And you don't need a big dinner party. Even a weekly lunch with a friend, a call while cooking, or sitting down at the same time each day with your partner creates a rhythm, a sense of peace around your meals. It reminds your body and your heart that you're not alone. If you live by yourself, it might take a little more effort, but it's still very possible. Maybe you can join a local group, invite a neighbor over, or schedule a phone call during meal times. Or perhaps just take a few moments to light a candle, play your favorite music, or sit in a sunny spot, creating a little ceremony around your meal, just for you, because you deserve that kind of care. Now, let's take a deep breath together. Just one. Inhale slowly and exhale. Feels good, doesn't it? Sometimes, when we hear about changing habits or starting something new, it can feel overwhelming. But this isn't about perfection. It's about direction. No one expects you to do all 7 habits all at once. Start with one. Maybe it's adding more greens to your plate, or choosing whole grains over white bread, or simply drinking more water tomorrow than you did today. Remember, it's not too late. It's never too late. Your body is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal, to thrive, to carry you through many more beautiful days. You don't have to rewind the clock. You just have to honor where you are right now and take gentle steps forward. I've met so many incredible people over 60 who told me, I wish I had started this sooner. But do you know what I love even more? When they say, I'm so glad I started when I did. Because within a few weeks or months, they notice a change. Clearer skin, better sleep, a lighter mood, and that subtle, beautiful sense that they were finally doing something kind for themselves. You have more power than you think. Every small choice matters. Every glass of water, every walk after dinner, every time you reach for something nourishing over something processed, you're giving your body a message. I care. I want to be here longer. And I want to feel good while I'm here. So, if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered if this next chapter can be better, let me tell you, it absolutely can. With a few new habits, a little curiosity, and a lot of self-compassion, you can create a life that's not only longer, but fuller, richer, and more joyful. Let's celebrate that. Let's honor the journey you've already walked, and get excited for the path ahead. Because food isn't just about health. It's about how we live, how we feel, and how we love. And if this video has helped you, even just a little, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experience in the comments. What habit are you most excited to try? What's worked for you? What questions do you still have? If this felt helpful or inspiring, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more down-to-earth health tips just like this. Your support means the world, and it helps us keep bringing you content that truly makes a difference. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel hopeful. You deserve to enjoy this beautiful life for many more years to come. Here's to your health, your happiness, and to living your best life at any age.